Welcome to Whisky.com, where fine spirits meet. In spring 2015, we visited the Mackmyra Distillery in the north of Sweden during our visit with our electric car of the North Cape. Here you see the visitor center, and in the back the impressive building of the distillery called Gravity, because all liquids flow with the gravity down to the bottom. All facilities are enabled for disabled persons. There's even an elevator in this tall building so that everybody is able to visit the distillery. Everything is tidy and clean, and there are very few cars there because the distillery wasn't running, they were in maintenance. Here you see the side where all the ingredients are brought to the distillery with an elevator up to the top of this tower, and then on the other side, inside the concrete building, downwards. All the malt is delivered in these plastic sacks, half a metric ton each, and 3 of those sacks bring together a batch. This is the maltings, very small, the smallest I've ever seen. On the right hand side, containers for water and equipment for shoveling, and here you steep the barley into the water for a few days before you spread it on the malting floor. Here the sacks with already malted barley. You can see the cracked corn. This was a smoky one. This is the kiln. It's a classic container. The blue equipment brings the air, the hot air. There's a chimney on top from stainless steel, the turf from the moss close by. This is the oven for the peat to be burned. And here, looking inside the door, there is a welded grid, a feet above the floor. From the bottom, there's the air coming in and taking the humidity with the corn from the corn out of the chimney. And here also the smoke is put into the hot air. This is the grid for drying. Then we take a small hike into the forest, where one of the several warehouses of Mackmyra is located. This one is the new one built together with the distillery. And as you can see with the big roads, there's heavy trucks running up and down. The warehouses are untypical. They are from concrete. And as you can see, big locks. And wherever alcohol is, you have to lock the doors. This is the inside. They are very small casks with 30 liters content. So the whiskey is maturing very fast in those small casks. And they are made of different woods. They are all made especially for Mackmyra. Between the racks there are some bigger casks. In these casks are already matured whiskey, so that you can fill it in a small cask, have it finished for just a few months, and then up you go. And here you can see with a small cask with a glass front, the headroom above the liquid with which the whiskey breathes through the wall. Here are pictures in this showroom of the different warehouses of Mackmyra and where they are located. There's a mountain warehouse in the ice. It was just opened in 2015. It's not seen here. Here you can see cut-off casks, later view, and the different wood types you can use for maturing. fresh American oak, ex-bourbon, sherry oak, hogshead, and whatever. Here you can see the heat-treated inside of a cask. This is strongly heated. This is not that much burned. They are doing a lot of experiments. And here you see a stave cut, and there you can see the red layer. And the red layer is the shows the amount of wood which is converted by heat treatment. So this is pretty much inside the wood. 50% to 2/3 are heat treated. And here you see the hammer for fixing the bung in the hole. Here we're leaving already and are heading for the distillery, and have a look back, and you can see it's air conditioned because summers can be very, very hot here in Sweden, up to 30 degrees centigrade. Here you can see the big tower of the distillery, and on the very top there's a room for tastings and the balcony. We're just outside soon. Here you see the hot water equipment for recycled energy, and on the left hand side the big window where you can see all the equipment of the distillery from outside. On the bottom there's the cask filling, in the middle there are the stills. You can't see them or hardly see them. On the top there I see the vessels for the fermenters, and on top the balcony. Here is a view of the heating and the chimney for hot water for the process. And the elevator. We're going up 7 stories, and this is the only elevator I've seen at a distillery. Even the column still distilleries in Scotland or the US have no elevator at all. 7 stories. And here a paper mill on the right, far away, and this is the Baltic Sea. We're able to see from the Mackmyra distillery, which is located in Gävle, 100 miles north of Stockholm. We are the only guests. It's spring or early summer, and the season hasn't started yet for tourists. And when we came from the North Cape through Sweden by our electric car, everywhere is wood. Forests, forests, only cut by the highway, the coastal highway. Very natural. Very scenic. Here in the back you see it's an old ammunition plant. It was an old ammunition plant where the maltings were in. This is the bio plant with wooden chips. There you can see the coolers, only 3 are running. There's no energy needed inside the plant. Here again, all fans are standing still. Here again the vessels for warm and hot water. This is on the supply side of the distillery, outside. With the fire stairs, so just in case you have to leave. Ooh, very steep. Here's the elevator for the barley. And from here on, everything goes by gravity. This is a mill, and this mill is operated with water. so that there can't be a dust explosion. It's a German mill. This is the malt bin, quite small because it's wet. Otherwise, if you keep it too long in a too big bin, it would turn bad. This is a beer receiver. After the fermenting, there are two of them. This is the mash tun with the underback in the front, and not typical lauter tun. We aren't able to look at it because it's cleaned. This is the fermenting room. There are 12 fermenters in this room, all stainless steel. I've never seen a cleaner distillery than this one. The yeast is a bakery yeast, and they are just bought by a local supply. Nothing special. They keep it cool in a fridge. And here we have the electronics. I'm saying nothing to it, just listen to the man.
Unpeated, heated, extra peated. So it shows that, it starts sequence, and then everything starts up. And then the computer mixes, like when you have the peated, then it goes 350 kilos heated, and the rest up to 1500 is unpeated. And extra peated, 700 kilos peated, and 800 kilos unpeated.
And here you see a typical heat exchanger. So every energy which is possible to be recycled is recycled here in the distillery. And then we are in a typical Scottish still house. The stills are fabricated by, or were fabricated by Forsyth in Rothes. On the left-hand side is the wash still, on the right-hand side the spirit still, and the two condensers are in the middle. This is the spirit safe, but no safe. Swedish law does not require that the spirit safes are locked, so everything is open. I would have thought otherwise because the alcohol duty is that high in Sweden. It's around 50 euros, $50 per liter, 100% pure alcohol. Here are the classic condensers, industry style, but all from copper, and below are the receivers for the different liquids in the process. And here we are in the basement, where the filling of the cask takes place. Everything looks like a gas station, filling station for petrol. The raw whiskey is here diluted to cask strength, and therefore they have a equipment for deionizing water. And here is a view of the old distillery, which operated from 2000 to 2011, roughly, in an old water mill.